Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are continuing with Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 13, verse number 13. Jneyam yattat pravakshyami yajnatvam ashnute anadimat param brahma nasat uchyate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Om Ajnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. And in the few verses that we will cover today, we will see how the Supreme Lord Krishna is guiding Arjuna. You know, after giving so much knowledge right from chapter 2 onwards, we have reached 13. Now he's going to teach us through Arjuna how to realize the Supreme Lord within the heart. He's there in the heart. We'll hear again about it in chapter 15. But when we realize that he is within the heart, then we will understand what is the purpose of human form of life, you see. So this verse that we recited just now, Krishna is saying that how we can taste the nectar of life. Everybody wants nectar. No one likes poison. Everyone wants everything sweet in life, everything relishable, pleasurable, enjoyable, something that makes us happy. So here, Krishna is reminding us again that we, the spirit soul, we are eternal, we are beginningless. So, when we understand, when we have this knowledge that we are the spirit soul and there is a super soul within the heart, something that we've already heard, and if we understand the position of the spirit soul, that who we really are, that's our real identity, that spirit soul we learned in chapter 2 has so many different qualities. It can never be burnt, it can never be cut by any weapons, it can never be drowned, it cannot be withered away. It's eternal. So Krishna says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. That the spirit soul, there is no birth and there is no death for the spirit soul. We are eternal. So if we are eternal, that should make us happy that we are never going to die. Yes, this covering, which is this body, is definitely going to wither away. It's going to die. But we will always exist like we have been existing since time immemorial. Many times people want to know, when did I start existing? When did I come into being? Krishna says, no, eternal. Sanatana, eternal means always existed and will continue to exist. There will be no death for the spirit soul. And that is why in this verse, Krishna says that you, the spirit soul, is beginningless. There is no beginning to this spirit soul. The spirit soul has always existing, like he tells Arjuna in chapter 2. There was never a time when you did not exist, nor I, nor all these who have gathered in the battlefield. None of them have ever ceased to exist, and they will continue to exist. So that should make us happy that we are eternal. We are not going to die. Yes, the body is going to wither away. So that is why Krishna says we are beginningless. Now, if you want to learn the qualities of the soul, who we really are, then we need to study chapter 2 scrutinizingly. You see? So now Krishna is going to explain to Arjuna for us how to understand him, the super soul. So He says that he is the chief knower of all bodies. Just like me, I'm just a spirit soul, eternal. I don't know what's going on in your bodies, right? I don't know what's going on in your mind. Wish I did. No, I don't want to know. We are knower of our own bodies, but the Supreme Lord, Supersoul, is the knower of all bodies. He's the master, and our position is to be his servant. Jivera Swarup hoye, Krishnera Nitya Das. Jivera, our Jiva, we, ourselves, the spirit soul, Swarup, our constitutional position is Krishnera Nitya Das, the eternal servant of Krishna. This is what the scriptures teach us, right? So he is the knower of all the bodies. He knows everything that is happening in us. Whatever we are thinking, whatever actions we are performing, whatever it is, everything is knowable by him. You see? So in this verse, Krishna, when he says Brahman, he's talking about the spirit soul, that is us. And he says that yes, you are beginningless and you're also subordinate to me. See, people don't like to be subordinates, they want to be the masters. But guess what? Our balloon of pride bursts right now by coming to know that we are subordinate to somebody. And who is that? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Now that he has explained to us that he is the super soul, he's situated in the heart of all living entities. When he says all, means all living entities. It doesn't matter. It's not just human beings. It could be animals, aquatics, trees, insects, birds, reptiles, all living entities. Imagine he is in everyone's heart. And he's traveling with us from one body to another. Imagine if I was told by my friend, hey, I want you to travel with me. Let's go from here to Hawaii, then from Hawaii to New York, and then to Los Angeles, and then here. After a while, I'll be tired. I'm like, how long do I have to accompany you? But the Supreme Lord, he never gets tired. He's traveling with us since so many lifetimes, and he will continue to travel with us. So it's important to understand about the super soul, about the Paramatma within the heart. Now, verse number 14, Krishna explains to Arjuna, how does he exist? Right? We would like to know, how does he exist? So he says, my hands, legs, eyes, heads, faces, ears are everywhere. If you'll remember, in chapter number 11, we learned about the universal form of the Lord. And in that, we saw unlimited eyes and legs and hands and faces and ears, everything spread all over. So what is the idea of that? To make us understand that he is all pervading. He is everywhere. We shouldn't think, oh, the Supreme Lord is in the heart, but if I go in a dark room, he won't see what I'm doing. He can still see what we are doing. It's not going to help. Yes, we can escape from the eye's vision of others when we enclose ourselves in a dark room, but the Supreme Lord is always present within the heart. Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Krishna says, Mamai Amsha, my parts, my Amsha. We are all parts of the Supreme Lord. And because he's Sanatana eternal, we are also Sanatana eternal. That means qualitatively we are same like him, but quantitatively we are not. Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice analogy. He says, if we take a few drops of water from the ocean, qualitatively it's the same. What's in our hand and what's in the ocean, it's the same water. But we cannot say, I'm holding the ocean in my hand. There is a difference in quantity. So similarly, we qualitatively are same like the Supreme Lord, but quantitatively we are not. So Krishna says, you all are my parts, and I am that whole, complete whole. Another example Srila Prabhupada gives is about the sun, right? The sun and the sunshine, right? Sun exists everywhere, diffusing its rays, right? The sun rays. So Krishna is similarly, is existing everywhere, his all pervading form. And as I mentioned earlier, that includes all living entities, right from Lord Brahma to a insignificant ant. He is present in everyone's heart. So just like there are unlimited living entities, similarly, Krishna has unlimited eyes and hands and legs and faces and ears everywhere. So this makes us understand that he is all pervading. Now, we human beings, we are conditioned. Why are we conditioned? Because we are embodied. That means the soul is embodied. That means the soul is entrapped in this material body. And because of that, there is contamination, there is conditioning. And that is why we are not the supreme, right? The super soul, the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord is there in everyone's heart, but he is different from us. We should not be mistaken that because the super soul is in my heart, I am God. No, there is a difference between us and the super soul. You see, he's far, far away, and yet he can accept our devotional service. He can accept, if we offer food to the Lord, he can accept it. Why? Even though he's so far away, he's in the spiritual world, but he's also there within the heart. You see, he accepts our offerings if they are offered with love and devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. If we offer with bhakti, with love, and with devotion, then he will accept our offerings, right? And the best part is he can do his senses are interchangeable. He can eat with his eyes, he can eat with his ears. Can we do that? No, we cannot do that. But he's the Supreme Lord. That is the potency. Angani yasya saklendriya. That all indriya, all his senses are interchangeable. Then in verse number 15, Krishna says, I am the original source of all senses. And yet I am without senses. Now one may say, what? God has no senses? What he means is he does not have material senses like we do. He is the maintainer of all, yet he is unattached. He is the master of three modes of material nature, yet he is above the three modes of material nature, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So he is the original source of all senses. We are the ones who have come from him. We do have senses, but our senses are material. So what does Bhagavad Gita teach us? To change our material senses into spiritual senses, which means remove the conditioning from the senses and become pure. When we start purifying our senses, then we will understand what is the purpose of human form of life. We will understand the meaning of this life. Otherwise, we will just be, leading our life like anybody else. Eat, sleep, be merry, eat, sleep, be merry, and that's about it. We will not be using our philosophical intelligence to understand, hey, I am in this human form of life in which I can think, I can process whatever knowledge I get, I can process it and put it into practice. So why not, right? So the senses are there. We have senses, the Lord has the senses, but there's a difference. We have contaminated senses and he has pure senses. That's why he's referred to as without senses, which means without material senses. Now, how to purify the senses? The senses, they are covered up with material elements. Just like nice example is a mirror, which is covered up with dust. So we cannot see ourselves in the mirror. Why? Because it's covered up with dust. Similarly, the heart is covered up with all the contamination. What is the kind of dust? In different degrees, it is lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. All that is within the heart. It doesn't matter whether it is in a small degree or a large one. It does not matter. It is still there. And that is why it's called contaminated. So the process to purify the senses is mantra meditation. We chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. When we chant those spiritual sound vibrations, which are so powerful, they enter into our ears and go straight to the heart and start removing the dust from the mirror of the heart. Then, when our senses are purified, we'll say, aha, this is the life's purpose and this is the meaning of this human form of life. Another example Srila Prabhupada gives is a cataract. I had gone to the retina specialist last week and he said, you have cataract. I'm like, thank you. I knew that. Yes, I do have cataract. But he said, they are not yet ready to be removed. Okay. Now, what is cataract? Cataract is a thin layer that is in front that, does not allow us to have clear vision. We are unable to see clearly, right? So our senses are like we have a cataract. We need to remove that thin layer. And that thin layer to be removed from the heart is possible even through regulative principles. When we follow regulative principles as given to us in the scriptures, in the Vedas, then we are able to purify our senses. And I've talked about these regulative principles many times. There are 4 pillars of spiritual life: austerity, mercy, cleanliness, honesty. These are the 4 pillars. And if we want to have our spiritual home very, very strong, with strong foundation, then we need to have these 4 spiritual pillars. When we have these 4 spiritual pillars, then we can continue to build on our spiritual home. Even if one of the pillar is missing or shaking or very weak, it'll be very hard to build our spiritual home. So regulative principles are very, very important. So here Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that his senses are pure, and that is why he's called Nirguna. Guna means modes, Nirguna means no. So he's not affected by the material modes, goodness, passion, or ignorance, no. He has eyes, but they are not material. He can see past, present, and future. And that is why in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chid Ananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. This is the form of Krishna. Sat Chid Anand. It is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And our bodies, they are Asat, Achit, Niranand. Right? Our body is not eternal. We are not full of knowledge and we are not blissful. We are always sad. We are always suffering. We may not agree, but that is what it is. So Krishna, he can see past, present, and future, and he's there in the heart of all living entities. So he knows everything that is going on in our minds, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are willing, whatever we are desiring, whatever actions we are performing. He also knows our future. So if we take on the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, then we can improve our future. Say, based on our past karma, our future life is going to be very painful, means a lot of distress. We can handle that. Not just handle it, we can also remove all that future sufferings. How? Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityagya mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tum sarva pape bhyo. Pap means sins. He says, I'll remove all your sinful reactions. All we need to do is surrender unto him and only him. Ekam. He says ekam means only me. Then he says masuchaha, do not fear. Which means he's giving us a guarantee that if we surrender unto him, which means we follow his instructions from Bhagavad Gita, then we will be able to purify ourselves and our future is going to be blissful. So, with knowledge, we can improve our future by not entangling ourselves in fruitive work, which means we perform a karma. A karma means following the regulative principles, following the scriptures, but not hankering to enjoy the results of our activities. That way, there will be no reactions and our future will be blissful. So, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but teaching us how we can discover life's purpose. What is the meaning of this human form of life? It is not meant for eat, sleep, and be merry. It's for self realization, for understanding who am I. Theoretically, it's not that difficult to understand, Who am I? I'm spirit soul. Good. But to realize it, we need to follow the process of bhakti yoga. To realize that we are parts of the Supreme Lord. To realize he has a form and that is why we have a form. He has hands and legs, that's why we have hands and legs. But the only difference is his is spiritual, ours is material. And because we are in the material world, we get contaminated. And contamination is very quick in association. So we got to be very careful who do we associate with. If we associate with like-minded people, if we associate with spiritually minded people, then that association, their consciousness will rub off on us. And then we'll say, aha, I also need to be spiritually inclined. So contaminated senses are there because we are in the material world. You see, we are pure, but we are right now covered up with materialistic life. But Krishna, he is pure. His form is transcendental, right? He's the master, he's the controller, he's the maintainer, he's the sanctioner, he's the witness. He's a super soul in the heart of every living entity. We learned this in chapter 5 also. Excuse me. Krishna says, Bhokkaram Yagna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwara Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatva Mam Shantim Richiti. He says, I'm the best friend of all living entities. And that's what best friends do. They are always there. It doesn't matter what is the situation in our lives, happiness, distress, success, failure, whatever it may be. The friend is always there, best friend. Krishna says, I'm your best friend. I'm your well-wisher. I'm there in the heart and I'm there to guide you. And he's the witness. And guess what? He's the sanctioner also. Like they say, not even a blade of grass moves without his permission. He sanctions. And he's seeing everything because he's super soul in the heart. So all these verses that we are doing today, they are talking about the importance of understanding the Paramatma within the heart, the super soul within the heart. And when we start purifying our existence, purifying the mind, purifying the body, purifying the intelligence, purifying the heart, We have a lot of work to do. We cannot relax. We don't know how much time is left. Of course, like Yudhishthir Maharaj said, the eighth wonder of the world is people think I'm never going to die. That is a wonder of the world, and which is untrue. Everybody has to die. Krishna has already told us in the earlier chapters, for those who are born, death is sure. And after death, one is sure to be born again. Unless we make that effort to break the cycle of birth and death. You see? Unless we take up the responsibility of purifying ourselves and becoming eligible to go back to the spiritual world, and that's where we belong. We don't belong here in the material world. We are like fish out of the water, right? Take the fish out of the water and tell the fish, hey, here's a $5 million home for you. And look at that. There is a bed frame made of gold, and there is posturepedic mattress, and you can relax here. And look at me. I have arranged a huge, feast for you to eat, all different items that you can enjoy in life. There is music and dancing. Is the fish going to be happy? No. The fish wants to go back in the water. That's his constitutional position. That is our situation. We are fish out of the water. We are out of the spiritual world, in this material world, and we think all these things are going to make us happy. $1 million home and a Jaguar in my driveway, and nice things to eat and wear, and no, because this is not our home. Our home is the spiritual world. So Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how we can leave this material world of contamination and come to the spiritual world. Guess what? There's no birth, no disease, no old age, no death, and there's permanent happiness. But provided we follow the process of purification. So the scriptures are there, they're guiding us how we can follow the regulative principles and how we can purify ourselves and become qualified to go back to the spiritual world. You see, it is difficult to understand Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And that's why Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, it's difficult to understand my inconceivable potency. It's beyond the power of material senses, you see. But it is possible. Why? Because he is within the heart as a super soul. And he can help us. We can understand, or we can realize the Supreme Lord within the heart. How? By following the process of bhakti yoga. Until and unless the heart is purified, there'll be no realization of God within the heart. No. Just like if I'm diseased, I need to take the medication. Once I take the medication, then gradually that disease will disappear, hopefully. I don't know. Most of the times, I hope there's no doctor on Zoom or Facebook. Most of the time it's guesswork. Okay, take this medicine, try it. If it doesn't work, come back. And then next week, try another medicine, kind of. But here, Bhagavad Gita, the supreme spiritual Dr. Krishna is there. He knows what our disease is. We have the disease called Maya, which is illusion, that which is not. That is Maya. We are in illusion. So to remove that disease of illusion, the medicine given to us by the Supreme Lord is, first of all, take on this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, understand who we are, understand why are we suffering in this material world, and understand the process of putting an end to these sufferings. You see? So here we are learning about Krishna as a super soul. He's present everywhere. You see, he is in every living entity's heart. He's transcendental. You see? But if we purify our senses, then we'll be able to see him. Isn't that nice? We can see God, even in this present material body, provided we purify ourselves. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadev hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achinta gunaswarupam govindam adi purusham tam aham bhajami. I bow down to that Govinda, Krishna. And in Lord Brahma, in his Brahma Samhita says, if we have prema anjana, when we anoint our eyes with love, then we will be able to see the Lord within the heart. There is no other way. And the process of anointing, putting ointment of love in our heart is bhakti yoga. Because with the process of bhakti yoga, we'll be able to purify our mind, our senses, our heart, our body, everything, even intelligence. And the best way to purify intelligence is giving knowledge to the intelligence, feeding the intelligence with knowledge. Then we can see the Lord face to face, only through process of devotional service. Then we will understand, oh, this is the purpose of human form of life. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Absolutely. And today's last verse that I'm taking is number 17, where Krishna says that I am yet one, yet I'm present everywhere in all. That does not mean he's divided or small pieces of God in each one's heart. No. Just like the sun, there is just one sun, but it's present everywhere. Right now, there is sunshine in Atlanta. If you go to New York, there's sunshine too. It'll appear like, oh, the sun is here. There's only one sun, but it is present everywhere. Similarly, the Supreme Lord Krishna is one, even though he's far away, like the sun is far, far away, he is present everywhere. You see? He's a maintainer of all living entities. There's a beautiful prayer. Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. Whomsoever Krishna wants to protect, no one can kill. And whomsoever he wants to kill, no one can protect. You see? Just like the Mahabharat war that had taken place more than 5,000 years ago in the holy place called Kurukshetra in India. In fact, I'll be visiting Kurukshetra next week for 3 days to go and see that same place. I've been there before, but go to that same place where Bhagavad Gita was respoken 5,000 years ago. Right at that same spot. So Bhagavad Gita is not mythology, it is real. You see? So that all the soldiers that were present in that great war, which is called the Mahabharata in Kurukshetra, there were 640 million soldiers. And none of them could be saved because Krishna wanted them killed. They were all irreligious people. And that was Krishna's desire. Except for the Pandavas, the 5 brothers, all others were killed in that battlefield, right? So when we take on this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, it helps us to understand who we are, who is the supersoul within the heart. And that realization will come not just by hearing, not just by taking on knowledge of Bhagavad Gita for year after year after year. No. The realization will come when we put it into practice. When we start following the Bhagavad Gita as it is in our day-to-day life. And the very first step of realizing the Supreme Lord within the heart is chanting the holy names of the Lord, which is called mantra meditation. Following the regulative principles for purification. Then there's going to be clarity, where we'll be really able to understand what is the purpose of this human form of life. Why do we have this form and what are we supposed to do with it? So let us chant the holy names of the Lord 10 times at least. Please chant with me. And whenever you have time, please chant the holy names of the Lord so that we can purify our hearts and realize the super soul within the heart. So please chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you see, it's very, very easy, not difficult at all. So it's my humble request is that please chant the holy names of the Lord on a daily basis if possible. That way, we will be able to purify ourselves. And just to let you all know, I will be going to India this coming week. So there will be no class for 2 weeks. I'm really sorry about that. 2 Sundays, there will be no class. And then we'll meet after 2 weeks. And I see there is a question. Can you repeat the 4 pillars of spirituality again, please? Who is JP? Okay, so the 4 pillars of spirituality are mercy, honesty, cleanliness, and austerity. These are the 4 pillars. And if you like, I can explain to you what does that actually mean. There are 4 regulative principles that we need to follow to make these 4 pillars strong. First of all, austerity. If we do not engage in intoxication, because intoxication does not allow us to perform austerity. So no intoxication, no meat eating like non-vegetarian food, because if we kill animals and eat, then we cannot be merciful. So one pillar is mercy. So no killing of animals. We may say, hey, I don't kill them. They are in the supermarket, but we also get karma for even though we may not kill the animal, but because we are eating it. So there is austerity and mercy. Cleanliness. Cleanliness is possible only if we follow the regulative principle of no illicit sex. Then there is honesty. We should not gamble, because a person who gambles can never be honest. So these are the 4 pillars of spiritual life: mercy, austerity, cleanliness, and what's the last one? What's the last one? Mercy, honesty, cleanliness, and it's a trick question. I just said it.
Austerity, mercy, cleanliness, and honesty.
Exactly. These are the 4 spiritual pillars that we need to make very, very strong. Okay. All right. So I'm going to end now, and I'll see y'all after 2 weeks. That's the 3rd week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. If anyone has any questions or